Hi guys, this is What the Pho travel podcast, and this is episode 9, which we are calling Checkmates. So this is about Czech Republic and Slovakia. Thanks for downloading.
Každý sedí na svým a hlídá si mandát. Náhody nejsou, věci se nedějou jen tak. Většina stejně ví, že pozná, co je pankrát.
Hi guys, so this is What the Pho travel podcast. Thank you for downloading, and hello.
Hello guys, how you doing?
So it's Nick and Amy here as per usual on What the Pho travel podcast. Today we don't have a guest.
No, but we don't need it. We've got a lot to get through.
We really do. So
Busy
we've
show.
had so many interviews when we've been to Czech Republic and Slovakia. So in a way, you're going to kind of meet the people that we've met.
Yeah, it should be a good episode. I'm looking forward to it. And countries like this, I mean, maybe not the Czech Republic, but certainly Slovakia, places people don't normally think to go. I like to go to these places, discover what they're like, and report back, really.
Exactly. So before we get started, do we have any listener shout-outs?
We do, yes. So, I've got two here. One from Charlie Keep. She got in touch with us on Instagram. I thought this was quite a nice message. She said she was jet-lagged after getting back from Australia, so was listening to us at 3 a.m. She said that she loved the show. I just like the idea of, you know, her... I've been jet-lagged before when you're up all night. It's crap. And it can be... Everyone else is asleep, and at 3 or 4 a.m. there's crap TV on.
Yeah.
So you think, what do I do? So I like the thought of us keeping her company there.
When you first said, I thought he was going to say, I like the thought of her in bed listening to our podcast. All right, Nick, slow down a little bit here.
Just as I was saying that, I thought, I hope this doesn't come across that way. So yeah,
You creep.
I thought the same thing, yeah. And also Rob Jelly got in touch. He found it funny that you were fangirling over Carl's videos.
I was. They're just too good.
I'm not sure if I should worry about that. But he said he really liked the episode. He was loving all the New Zealand chat.
Good stuff. So we also need to put a plea out there as well to people that, because we're on iTunes, we would very much like if we got some reviews on iTunes as well, because apparently that bumps you up on iTunes.
Yeah, it really helps get the podcast out there. So yeah, if you have enjoyed it, if you can just spare 1 or 2 minutes to write something nice, please.
Then that will be lovely. If you're thinking of writing anything bad, then just fuck off, all right?
Fuck off.
Don't even bother, because we will find you.
Well,
just like Liam Neeson.
I think if you like the podcast, say you like it. If you don't listen.
Yeah, just back off a little bit, all right?
It's not for everyone. We accept that.
Right, let's get on with the show. So first off, I think we need to explain what Czechoslovakia was.
Yes.
Back when it was Czechoslovakia.
So, yeah, quite right. So the Czech Republic and Slovakia, they used to be one country. This episode is focusing on how they're now split, but are they on good terms since the divorce? But Czechoslovakia, so I've done some research here, right? Don't worry, Amy, this is not too in-depth. This is easy. It's in layman's terms.
Okay, are you calling me stupid? Or?
Not stupid, just you don't like history stuff. So, Czechoslovakia was a country in Central Europe that existed from October 1918 when it declared its independence from the Austro-Hungarian Empire. From the beginning, the country was made up of Czechs on the west and Slovakians on the east. So socially, there's pretty much always been a divide in the country. It was always considered as two nations under one name. Although officially both groups of people were equal, this wasn't the case because there were twice as many Czechs as Slovaks, so they were more economically developed. Many Slovaks thought the country was too Prague-centric, and all the decisions were made there. And many Czechs thought that the poorer Slovakians were holding them back. So you might think that the two groups of people didn't like each other, but this wasn't true, because despite some differences, they still had a lot in common, one being a very similar language, and while ruled under communism, they had bigger problems to worry about. After the fall of communism in 1989, when I was born, lots of good shit happened in 1989.
It was actually quite a good year. Yeah, loads of stuff happened.
Czechoslovakia became a democracy. Once the new parliament was elected, disagreements started to happen, so they decided to peacefully split on the 1st of Jan 1993. The interesting thing is, this wasn't put to a vote. The politicians just decided it. So to this day, we don't know if the people would have voted to split or not.
I wonder whether they would have. Well, because they're still... am I right in thinking they're still friends now?
We're going to find out in the show.
Ooh, mystery. That's so shit.
I've done a lot of research into this, preparing for this show. I'm not going to give the answer away now.
People just like switch off the podcast. I know all I need to know now. Let's talk about what we've done. So we went to Czech Republic in November,
We did.
Yeah, and then we've just got back from Slovakia, where we went on a ski holiday as well.
Yeah, so that was in February. So it just by chance happened to be that we were going to both countries in quite a short space of each other. So we thought it makes sense to do a show on both of them.
Exactly. So that means that the first half of this show is going to be about Czech Republic and the second half is going to be about Slovakia. So should we start off with, even though we've already had a history lesson, this is getting way too history-based for my liking, but let's go for game show facts for Czech Republic.
Give me that music. Czech Republic is a nation-state in Central Europe, bordered by Germany to the west, Austria to the south, Slovakia to the southeast, and Poland to the northeast. The population is around 10 million. The local currency is koruna. The capital and largest city, Prague, has over 1.2 million residents. Prague has the lowest unemployment rate in the European Union. The language is Czech. Hello is ahoy, and thank you is yakui. 90% of Czechs have completed at least secondary education, the highest score in the EU, along with Poles, Slovaks and Slovenians. According to the 2001 census, 19% of Czechs said they believe in God, making this country an atheist paradise. Car manufacturer Skoda is the largest company in the Czech Republic. Czech people are the world's heaviest consumers of beer. Inventions include contact lenses and high-quality methamphetamine.
Ooh.
What they mean by high quality, I'm not sure. I think they mean like for recreational use.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Cool.
So they're atheists and they're druggies as well.
They're like my favourite type of people.
And they drink the most beer in the world.
Should we go move there or...?
What's not to like?
Exactly.
But interesting things about countries like this, people wouldn't think, yeah, they've the best kind of score at education in Europe.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
So
who knew?
It's statistics like that. And you just think, maybe we think that we're kind of ahead of everyone else because we live in the UK. But I feel like the UK and America are kind of the big boys. Is that a bad thing to say? Like, I feel like everyone sort of relates to us, even with down to like music.
Yeah.
So other parts of Europe will mainly listen to our music and America.
Yeah, Americans everywhere, especially TV. That's why all Europeans, when they learn English, they learn American English,
Yeah.
not English English.
Yeah. So it's a bit like when you're in school and you have like the popular kids. Why are they popular?
I think it just goes down
they're not the
to-
clever ones. They're not the ones that are good at something, yet they seem to be clever. And I think that's what the UK are a bit like.
All I can
Everyone
put
else is better, but we act like the cool ones.
Well, we can certainly learn a lot from other countries. That's why we like to travel. But I think it just goes down to like having a big economy. If you've got a big economy, you've got a big influence on the world.
Yeah.
Like, America's the biggest. We're pretty high. For a small country, we're high up there. We're like 5th or 6th in the world.
Yeah, which is mental because we are tiny.
Yeah. Plus, have you ever seen Jeremy Kyle? Like, how many of those people live in our country, but we're still doing all right?
Yeah, I know.
Somehow.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, so let's talk about Prague. So Prague is quite a common place for people to go, and I can completely see why. Like, there was so much to do when we were there. So we went, just you and me, for the week. It was like a long weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, just a long weekend. Like Ryanair, 50 quid return flights. Like, why not?
Sweet. And this was the first time we used Airbnb as well.
Yep.
And a little bit later, we're going to hear from Tom, who we stayed with, because we had a little interview with him.
Yeah, good chat.
And yeah, it was really good. So yeah, let's talk about Prague. The things that we did. Let's start off with the Sex Museum, yeah?
That was one of the first things we did, wasn't it? Yeah.
So just walking around, there's loads of things you can do, like Segway tours, which again, we got an interview with our Segway tour guide as well.
Yeah, the Sex Museum, the first thing we did when we got there. So we were walking around town. We just walked past it, like, this place looks a bit strange. What's going on here? And you walk in, look around, and you just see all these kind of really old, ancient sex machines.
Yeah, there's a lot of dom stuff in there. And there's weirdly a massive teddy, like a big teddy bear, with a massive cock.
With a big dick. There was lots of kind of big wooden dicks in there.
Yeah. A lot of old school, like, you know, back in the day when women weren't allowed to have a sex drive, so they'd have to go to the doctors to sort that. And they used to sit on one of those chairs, which was basically a dildo on a chair, and the doctor would use some apparatus to sort you out. Yeah. That was there.
But as a perfect example of kind of weird, quirky, rude things you can do in Europe.
Yeah.
Like, Europe's very open-minded with stuff like that. I mean, that's nothing compared to Amsterdam, you know, stuff that goes on there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's just one of the weird, quirky things you can do there. But we were walking around the main town square when we saw that sex museum. Yeah, like the main square is beautiful, isn't it? Like, if you're into architecture and stuff like that, then Prague is definitely the place to go, all the Gothic buildings. There's just a lot to see. It's a really, really cool place.
Absolutely. And on that day, we also ventured into the mirror maze.
We did?
So I've never been in one of these before. Like, everybody's seen them on TV or wherever. But yeah, you're just literally in a sea of mirrors. It's like when you see people in there, you're like, oh, come on, you can see which way to go, grow up. But then when you're actually in there, like, we hit our face a couple of times on the
Yeah,
mirror.
you like walk into a mirror. It's so disorientating. And you have to wear gloves on your hands so you can't touch the mirror, so you can't make them dirty. Because if there are fingerprints all over it, obviously you'd see where you're going. But that was fun. Just some weird kind of kooky things you can do.
Yeah, because like other parts in Europe, you can sort of argue that a lot of Europe all looks the same.
Yeah,
Similar to like Asia, everything's got that similar vibe to it.
Once you've seen a temple.
You've seen them all.
I know what you mean. Krakow, for example, town squares in Europe can look very similar. But,
Yeah.
but then each city does have its own little uniqueness.
So if you were to describe Prague, what two other European countries or cities would you choose to define Prague?
Architecture, a bit like Krakow and the town square.
Poland then, yeah.
Yeah. And then it had a very... Actually, I was going to say it had a kind of German Bavarian theme, but I'm not sure if it did actually.
No, I didn't get a very German vibe from there.
Because what countries, I've just said, what countries is it near? So yeah, it's bordered with Germany, Austria, Slovakia and Poland. I said Poland, a bit similar. They like to be known as Central Europeans, not East Europeans, because people refer to Eastern Europe as a bit rough. Very Central Europe, not quite dodgy Eastern Europe, that sounds bad, but they're not the kind of very highly developed West, like Paris and Germany and stuff like that.
So they're all the sort of little things that we've done. The rest of the big things are coming up soon with interviews. So let's start off with Airbnb. Our guy who put us up for a couple of nights, Tom. How amazing was his apartment?
Really nice place, yeah. And we said to him, wow, like, yeah, you've got a really sweet place here. I can see why it is popular on Airbnb.
Yeah.
And it was only like the metro train, only 3 tube stops from the centre of Prague.
Or like a decent walk. Like, we walked it the first day. I think it was maybe 20 minutes to half an hour if you'd like strolling, really nice slow walk. And that's really nice just to see the city anyway. Like when you first get there, have a walk around, know where you are and all of that. And Tom did really well with recommending places to eat as well. So he showed us that breakfast place, which we ended up eating like every morning. Yeah. And it was so good. It was a really like, what do you call it?
Deli.
Oh, a deli, yeah, that's it. And it was just so pretty and just really nice food. So we would recommend that place, but we don't know what it's called.
It was just, if you ever stay with Tom, it was round the corner from where he lives.
Literally a 2-minute walk. So let's listen to our interview with Tom.
We haven't seen you much actually since you've been here, but you've been a very good host. The room is really nice.
The room is amazing. Did you design it or did your girlfriend?
No, it's with my girlfriend, and
yeah,
it was like, we like this and we're gonna put it into the room.
Yeah, it's so nice. I love it.
Really nice. So, where are you from in the Czech Republic?
Well, I'm from Moravia, which is the east part of the Czech Republic, and in Prague I live a year.
Okay.
Or half a year, and I work here and I study here.
Okay.
Oh, you study as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what are you studying?
I study advertising photography.
Oh, okay.
And it's like part-time study, part-time job.
Oh, that's good. Oh, okay. I studied photography.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so then
But I am really bad. I'm so bad.
Yeah, well, 3 years you studied, and then after... When
well,
you left,
at university, 3 years.
Yeah, but you, Amy, like photographed weddings and all sorts.
Yeah.
You've done lots of jobs.
I didn't like it.
No. So you come to Prague. Are there not many opportunities outside of Prague, like for jobs and education?
I think that Prague is the best for it, but there are some possibilities, but the Prague is the best, you know.
Yeah.
In my job, like social media or marketing, it's the best to get to Prague.
Yeah. And you enjoy living in Prague?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it too, so...
Yeah, there's lots to do here, isn't there? Like, we've been here for 3 days and we've been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We
really
were never
good.
bored, so it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Prague is quite a common place for English people to come for. Do you know what a stag do is?
No.
Stag do. You know, if you have a wedding before the men party and the women, this is a common place for English people. So in Czech Republic, what do you do before a wedding with your friends? What's the tradition?
I think that we usually don't leave the country. We are just in our city and make some like celebration in a pub.
A lot of drinking.
A lot of drinking, but not something big, like a couple of friends together.
Yeah,
Nice.
In England, it's a really big tradition.
Yeah.
But I think years ago, like our parents, like my dad for his wedding, he just went to have a curry, like an Indian, with his friends. They had a meal, had a few drinks, and that was it. But now people go away for weekends. Some people,
Las Vegas.
You're going away for a week.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going. My best friend has planned, and I don't know what I'm doing. So.
Yeah. I'm really keen to know, what do young people like you think of when the Czech Republic and Slovakia split?
Yeah.
Do you think anything? Do you have an opinion?
Yeah, is it good or bad?
It's like I was born in Czech Republic, not in Czechoslovakia, so it's not a thing for me. But nowadays, I think that most of the people think that it's a good thing. But the nations are like, we call it brother nations.
Okay. So
like,
both countries, you're both friends or enemies?
Yeah.
You're both friends. Okay, because
especially when we drink something. So
Oh, good.
We're really good friends.
Oh, good.
We live together.
Because back in the UK, so you have England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. There's like we're all friends, but we joke that some of them are stupid or some of them. But we
It's
have
same here, but not so much.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
What do you think of Airbnb? Is it good?
Yeah, we started just about 3 or 4 weeks ago, so it's not so long, but it really helps us pay the bills, and we like to meet new people. And my mom says that it's good for improving my English.
Oh yeah.
So she likes it because
good.
of it.
Have most people been English that have stayed here?
No, I think that most people were German, but some Spanish people are going to come.
Cool.
And the New Year's, there will be a girl from South Korea. So
Cool.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and for us staying here is great because you can stay somewhere for a good price, and you're in a good location in the city, and you can live with a local, so they can give you lots of advice where to go.
And you can do interviews.
Yeah, so
it helps us.
yeah, I think it's good for everyone as long as like the guests are nice. Hopefully, we've been okay. Have we been good guests?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite well.
Okay, so do you like to travel around the world?
Yes, I like it, but I don't know. Last 1 year we spent by traveling through the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
As we said that we don't know it and we live here.
Yeah.
So we went in a couple of places in Czech Republic and we didn't went abroad.
Yeah.
And we like it.
It's a good idea. I think we're guilty we like to travel a lot, but maybe not enough in the UK.
No.
I travel a lot for my job around England and Scotland and Wales, but I don't really stop and see the places.
Yeah. Yesterday we said that we need to do a tour around London because we don't know the history.
I think we're going to pretend to be tourists in London. And I think it will be good fun.
Yeah. So where's like your dream country? Where do you want to go?
I don't think I have one.
The Czech Republic.
I haven't been in England, so I think that would be my next stop.
Yeah?
And maybe some Spain or Europe.
So that was Tom, our Airbnb host.
Yeah, really nice guy.
Yeah.
And very helpful while we were there. Like I said in the interview, he was happy to recommend places to us, which is a good thing about Airbnb.
Exactly. And so I think we've got 1 point to them being friends.
Yeah, as far as Tom's concerned, they are friends, which is good. I think I was expecting him to say that, but I'm glad that he did say that. Yeah, they both get along good.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's really sweet that his mum was kind of pro him, like letting people stay in his flat. Because, for example, I was with my best mate yesterday, and I was saying how we want to try out couch surfing, so you're not actually paying, and she was like, oh my god, like, are you not scared they're going to kill you or murder you? And it's like, just because you're not paying them money, like, you could have that anywhere. I said, like, there could be a serial killer in my hotel, that doesn't mean anything. So I think It's really sweet that his mum's being really open-minded about it and stuff.
That was really good. Yeah, quite refreshing to hear. And of course, yeah, his English is going to improve, and even though he said not many English people have been there, most people do speak English, don't they?
Exactly, and you can always practice it. I just want to give a little shout out to Jill, by the way, because this is going to be the first episode. Or, by the way, I mean Jill, your mum.
My mum.
This is going to be the first episode that she is guesting on.
Yeah, you're going to hear her later.
Yeah, so we got an interview with her when we were on a family holiday in Slovakia.
Yeah, and just to finish with Tom, can you tell us, Amy, if people want to find him on Airbnb, how can they do that?
Yeah, if you're on Airbnb, just check out Prague, and it says on the top, "Hi, I'm Tom." His listing is big cozy room in the centre of Prague. We couldn't really find a username for him, so if you just look for that, I'm sure you'll find it.
You'll find it, yeah. But nice place. And actually, when we arrived, there was towels and there was like little shampoo bottles on the bed. It was
and also we had them little biscuits, and one had an N in it and one was A for our names.
Proper hotel service.
So cute.
So thank you, Tom.
Cool. Okay, so now that we've heard one interview, let's go straight into the next one. So we did a beer tour when we were there. So this was like the perfect day for you, wasn't it? Being in an alien city and just drinking lots of beer.
Yeah, and this is what Prague is famous for. So definitely when you're there, check out some sort of beer tour. And it's fine going from pub to pub, just trying the local beers. But if you're in a group, it's more fun. And if you've got a tour guide who knows what he's talking about, it really enhances the experience.
Oh, definitely. Because he took us to all them little microbreweries who are making the beer themselves.
Yeah.
And then it helped for the rest of the trip as well. We sort of got more of an understanding of where we were, where the central bits were, the expensive places, the cheaper places. So it really, really helps. So let's hear that interview now. Our tour guide was called Danielle. It is a guy, not a girl. But we also talked to a guy called Adomis and another one called Wenna.
Hey, what's up?
Can you tell me about the company you work for and what you guys do?
Okay, so I work for Prague Special Tours Company. Okay, we actually provide like special tours which are like a little bit different, like fun tours. We have Prague Communism and Nuclear Bunker Tour. We have Prague Underground Tour. Also, we have Ghost Tour and then Beer Tour.
So we're on the beer tour now. Please bear in mind we've already had about 3 or 4 drinks. Can you please explain what the beer tour is all about?
So the beer tours, first off, it's about having fun, right?
Of course.
Drinking good beer, and I think, I take you to places where I think you wouldn't like discover, I think these are really like hidden microbreweries where they own beer. Okay, in like small amounts, like all of my natural, not like mass-produced beers, and just, the best quality.
So Prague is famous for beer. Well, the Czech Republic is famous for beer. You told us earlier tonight that per person in the country, Czechs drink the most beer in the world. So why do you think Czech Republic is famous for beer?
Yeah, so first of all, we're famous because here, that's the thing, the beer is cheaper than water in here. And that's really true, and you can confirm that, right?
Yeah. In the UK, alcohol is expensive.
Yeah, here it's not.
Yeah. And you're originally from Prague? You live in Prague, is that right?
That's right.
You lived it your whole life. And is there anywhere else in the world that is your favourite place to go as a tourist?
I would love to visit Caribbean,
Yeah.
Jamaica, maybe.
Yeah.
Bahamas.
Maybe one day. Is there somewhere you've already been that's your favourite place so far, apart from Prague?
I've been to Taiwan twice. That's a nice
Cool.
place. In the States, in Florida, that was nice. In Spain. Spain was cool. And I've never been to England, so that's what I plan.
One day. If you come to England, then let us know. We'll show you a good time.
Yeah.
How should people get in touch if they want to do the beer tour?
I think the easiest way is either you visit our Facebook pages, Prague Special Tours, or you can go on TripAdvisor. You just type in the Prague Beer Tour, and that'll be the first result, I guess.
Cool, thank you very much. And we're also joined by our friend all the way from Brazil. Can you tell us your name, please?
Winner.
So, Wenner, what are you doing in Europe at the moment?
Well, I was living in Dublin for a while. I was studying English there. And when I finished my course, I just started to travel around Europe. And now I'm here in Prague.
So, what were you studying?
English.
Studying English. Okay, and so are you planning to go back to Brazil one day?
Oh yeah, I'm going back there in December.
All right, cool. So what do you think of Europe so far? Is it better than South America?
Well, yeah, in some aspects it is, like the quality of life. You have much more history than Brazil. Brazil is a very recent country, but I miss the weather in Brazil.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, yeah. Okay, thank you. And finally, our friend from Lithuania, and your name is?
Adomas.
Adomas. So, can you... So, yeah, if you need to remember, it's Adam and Thomas put together. Can you tell us, you have an interesting story why you're here, so please tell us why you're in Prague right now.
We're just traveling on leisure time, so...
And you got a really good deal, very cheap, to come to Prague.
Yeah, half year ago we just bought some Lux Express bus tickets for €3, so...
So you came all the way from Lithuania to Prague for €3. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's €3 for 16 hours travel. It's like, I don't know, it's the best we can get.
Yeah. And what do you think of the beer in Prague?
It's like as tasty as in Lithuania.
Oh, as tasty, not better, but the same as in Lithuania.
It's not comparable because in Lithuania it's also beer is also good.
I love how he's given a proper shout out to Lithuania there. The beer is just as good as Lithuania.
But that was a good night, wasn't it?
It was, and I don't know if you could hear it in Nick's voice. I could, because obviously I know you, but you'd had quite a lot to drink by that point.
Well, just then, some of the questions I was asking, I thought that was a bit weird. I'm like, so what do you think of Europe? Is it better than South America? Does it kick its ass? Like, why did I ask that? They're obviously such different places.
Can I just give a little shout out to, actually, I'm just going to put a clip out there of something that you said. Listen to this again.
Oh, God.
We'll show you a good time.
Yeah. What on earth are you going on about there? You sound like that guy from our last episode in that Deck commercial when he goes, Dick.
Oh.
And you go, we'll show you a good time.
I've had a good time. Yes, come to England, be with my woman. She'll show you a good time.
Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of good time you're talking about here.
But no, that was a really good night. The beer tour, I can't recommend it highly enough because, like you said, you got to know your bearings a bit more around the town. All the best places that do the best beer. So yeah, can I talk beer quickly?
Yeah, go for it.
There's so many of these microbreweries, these pubs in Prague that make their own beer. So it's all made freshly on site. And because it's consumed so quickly, because as soon as they make it, I don't know, in the next week or two, it's all been drunk, they don't have to put all the preservatives in the beer that the stuff you'll find in supermarkets.
Which, am I right in thinking, that's all the fizzy part, isn't it?
Yeah, because actually the beer wasn't that fizzy in Prague, which I like, because I like English ale, which is flat. But in Prague, it was like the best of both worlds. It was quite flat, but it tasted like lager, but it was just went down so smooth. It was delicious. But because they don't have to put all the preservatives in, it's all completely natural ingredients. It tastes fresh. And the 2 nights we went out drinking a fair amount, next morning I felt fine.
Yeah.
No hangover.
No hangover at all.
And our tour guide did tell us that if you drink 1, maybe 2 beers a day, it's actually good for your digestion.
Apparently so.
Because it's got healthy bacteria in it. Because it's all like natural. I think, does it come from the yeast? Because yeast is like living bacteria.
Yeah, because it's actually quite the same as them yogurts where it's got bifidus bidigestivus, or whatever it says in the advert.
Yeah, that's the one. But no, it's actually in small doses. It's good for you.
Yeah.
And it was just delicious. It was the best thing ever. So I really, I hope one of my friends decides to have a stag do in Prague, actually, because I'd love to go back.
Yeah, especially with someone who's a beer drinker, because I don't drink beer. I was just drinking the wine the whole time we were there. But do you remember when we went for lunch somewhere and you got little tasters? I think you should talk about that.
Yes.
And we'll also put the picture on our Instagram at What the Faux Podcast on Instagram, and it'll probably go on our Twitter as well at Faux Podcast. And while you're there, give us a cheeky follow, will ya?
Go on, do it. So yeah, this place we went to, this bar, I'm looking at the beer menu and I can't decide which one I want. And there's a section that says, can't decide, have them all. I'm like, oh, what's this?
Amazing.
So for about the equivalent of £1, so like €1.20, you can order 6 little beers. They are only little, but 6 of each beer they make. One of them was green because it's made from stinging nettles, but it doesn't sting your mouth. It tasted delicious. And you can just try them all. I've got this picture of all these beers in front of me, and I don't know which one to look at first or which one to try.
It's like heaven.
Yeah, but they were great. And after our tour guide for the beer tour left us, we stuck together as a group. Wasn't a big group. Yeah, there was me and you, Adomus, who you heard, plus his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then, was it Wenner, the Brazilian guy?
Yeah, Wenner, yeah.
So there was 5 of us, but we thought, let's stick together, let's keep the night going. And we found this bar, and they claim to serve the strongest beer in the world.
Yeah, and it was like one of those places you'd imagine to be in Germany, where you've got the really long trestle tables, and everyone's there, and the people come around and serve you, and it was really cool. And we went all the way to the top, didn't we? Yeah,
top floor. And we were all sat there with the strongest beer in the world. Apparently it was very sweet and fruity, because we learned the more alcohol in a beer, or we learned anyway, there's more sugar, more glucose.
Yeah, so you need to not ferment the sugar, but you need to get a lot of sugar content in there to get it at a high alcohol level.
Yeah, so it was very sweet, but it was lovely. But yeah, after one pint, you definitely know you've been drinking, on top of what we were drinking already. But we had such a fun night. I really, really enjoyed it.
So was this the day that we did the Segway tour, or did we do that the day after?
I think, earlier that day, we'd done the Segway. So we're talking about everything in reverse at the moment.
Oh, yeah, because then we also did a traditional Czech night, didn't we? Which we'll talk about,
Got to talk about that.
One of the weirdest nights of my life, I tell you.
Highlight of the trip.
So let's go on to our Segway tour. We did a Segway tour around Prague. First times we were on a Segway, but they give you a bit of a mini lesson at the start, don't they? Yeah. And it was so much fun. Such a good modern way to see a city. Yeah, it was, I think, the best way to see the city. I had so much fun. The downside was, because we're following this tour guide, we're on our Segways. He's not going fast, but he's a bit ahead. He's telling us, look to your right, you'll see this building, and look to your left. And we just couldn't really understand a word he was saying. Well, yeah, couldn't hear him anyway. And obviously, all your brain power is going on not falling off this Segway and making yourself look like a twat in front of everyone. So that's more of what I was concentrating on. But it was really good. He took us around the Jewish quarter, over the bridge, and yeah, it was really, really good. You saw a lot of the city, obviously, because you're going quicker than if you were walking. And yeah, really liked it. I would definitely recommend it, and I'd also do it again if you got the chance.
So much fun. And they're really easy to ride, aren't they, Segways?
Yeah, they look really difficult, but no, they're actually all right.
And I think the guy actually said, they're designed so you can't really fall off. If you lean forward, you just go a bit faster, lean back and you stop. And yeah, I found it very easy to stand up. We didn't fall over, but there was a second tour guide with us. I think, was she learning the route, or was she training him?
I swear she said she'd worked there for a few years.
Yeah, I think she was kind of just shadowing. She was following us. Maybe she was in training herself, but she'd been on a Segway a few times. She fell off twice.
Oh God. And she was riding behind us just to check that we hadn't fallen off. It's like, love, come on, watch yourself.
We need to give her some tips, don't we? But really, so much fun. Great way to see the city.
Yeah, definitely. So this is our tour guide, Paul, when we had a chat with him when we were there.
So we're very cold, but we've just had a very fun hour going around Prague on a Segway. And our tour guide, his name is Paul. So Paul, can you tell people about the company you work for? What's the name of the company, and how can people get in touch?
We are Schweig Tour. We are working in the Old Town Square or in the Wenceslav Square. You can ask just someone where is in the Schweig Tour and you can come to us. It's so easy.
Yeah, so can you explain what the Segway tour, what happens, how long it lasts for?
Okay, we have half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, and 90 minutes for sure. It's different options of the tours. You can see just in the center, or you can see center, you can see on a mouse nights like the other part of the Prague and the Prague Castle for sure. In 90 minutes, in 2 hours, you can see all Prague.
Yeah.
You can visit everything, and you will have few days just for the walking and enjoying of the life.
Yeah, and it's a really fun way to see the city. Really good fun. And so you're from Germany, that's correct. And why are you now living in Prague?
Just studying here. It's good education.
And it's cheap?
Yeah, it's free education.
Free? Yeah. Free education?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah. And where's your favourite place in the world to visit?
I want to go to Tokyo.
Okay.
Yeah, I never been in Tokyo, but I want to go really to Tokyo.
And what makes you want to go to Tokyo?
It's so many people. It's crazy traffic, really. And yeah, I like their food, like sushi and other things. That's really interesting.
I want what he's having. He sounded like he was on some drugs then for a second. My name is Porter.
Maybe he's been drinking too much of that Prague beer.
Maybe. But to be fair, he was speaking very good English. I can't speak German or Czech.
Yeah, so shut the fuck up, Nick.
I know.
All right. Just before we finish off talking about Czech Republic, I keep going to say Czechoslovakia. Czech Republic, we're going to talk about the traditional night that we went on, but then after we're going to play a Eurotrip game, which I'm very excited about because I know nothing about it and I don't really know what's going to go on, but you've prepped it, so
it should be fun.
So good. But let's talk about this Czech night that we went to because it was, without a doubt, one of the weirdest nights ever. It's the sort of thing that you'd see in a film, like, do you remember that Eurotrip film?
Yep.
And it's just really weird. You walk into like Eastern Europe or like that sort of thing and you're like, what on earth is going on? This is the weirdest night of my life. Yeah,
well, you really felt like you were transported back in time, which is the point. But I thought while we were there, I wanted to do something traditional, even if it is just something silly that tourists do, which is not even really that traditional.
Oh, I don't regret it anyway. I just want to put that out there. It was such a good night.
Really good fun.
But
so
weird.
Online, we found a company called
PragueExperience.com.
That's the one. They do all sorts of tours. But yeah, this one looked good because I think we paid like £30 each to get picked up from our hotel or our Airbnb apartment, taken 40 minutes out of town to kind of this country barn, and then you get unlimited food. It's a 3-course dinner, unlimited food, unlimited drink as well.
Which is incredible.
Yeah, wine and beer. And they put on a show for you. Yeah, like traditional music, traditional dance, and obviously they drag people up on stage as well from time to time, so we ended up having a dance. But it was very weird and surreal. Good night, but it's, I think, definitely not your thing at first, but then you thought, oh, actually, that was quite good fun.
Yeah, and once you get a bit merry with the alcohol as well, then everybody starts to join in anyway. But let's talk about the dances. So at first it was just like a male and a female, and it's a partner dance, so the man leads, and very traditional in that sense. But the noises that they were making when they were dancing, so I guess the only thing we could sort of relate it to is line dancing with a partner, but it's also a bit salsa as well because they dance in a circle, and the girls wear them traditional long dresses that look like they've got like an apron on the front, so they always know their place in the home.
And they kept making lots of weird Super Mario noises.
Yeah, literally, that is how I'd describe it, Super Mario. And just like, yay, yahoo! That's it. So weird, but then wasn't she making noises as well?
They both were, yeah.
Grunting noises. She was
loving
it.
I'm going to try, let's see if this works, because I've got a video on my phone. I'm going to try and put it up to the mic so you guys can get a taste of what it was like.
Or you can also head to our Instagram page at What the Pho Podcast, because then you'll see it in real life. And yeah, it was just so weird. At one point, I turned my phone round and videoed us because everybody got up and everyone had a partner. And it was kind of like this game that when the music stops, a bit like musical chairs, when it stops, you have to grab a new partner and then carry on dancing.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Well, definitely check out the video on social media because, you'll see Amy's reaction to the whole night. But I'm going to play a bit of it. I hope this comes across fairly well.
So you can hear him doing that whistle thing. Well, I think she was whistling like that and he was going, yaha, yoo.
Yeah, there was a lot of whistling, but there was definitely lots of Mario. Yo! Wah! It's fucking weird, but it was a lot of fun. But then when we told Tom, the Airbnb host, what we'd done that night, we said, oh yeah, we're watching some of your traditional dance. And he's like, what even is Czech traditional dance? That just shows he didn't know.
No. Right, so let's play this Eurotrip game because I am very intrigued to find out what we're going to be doing.
Okay, so yeah, Eurotrip. I am going to be taking you on a trip around Europe inspired by our little European breaks recently.
For real? Or is this your way of telling me you're taking me travelling again?
No.
Okay.
This will be the closest thing to actually going. So I'm going to take you around Europe and I'm going to ask you some questions when you're in each city, okay?
Okay.
Depending on how you answer the question, depends on how good your trip's going to be.
Oh no, so this is down to my knowledge, which is shit.
Okay, are you ready? So, your trip starts in London. You've planned to see Buckingham Palace, Big Ben and the Tower of London. then have fish and chips with a pint of ale before an evening at the theatre.
Oh, mate, that sounds amazing.
Sounds good. That's what you should do when you're in London. So, question 1. Name Europe's busiest shopping street with around 500,000 visitors each day.
I'm going to go with Oxford Street.
Yes, correct.
Woohoo.
Well done. So, that means you do everything you wanted to do in London, the weather was nice,
Sweet.
plus you met Prince Harry, went on a massive bender with him. Lads.
Oh, that sounds like a proper good night out.
So, your trips got off to a good start.
I want to go out with Harry. I think not go out with him, date him. I mean, go on a night out. He seems like such a lad.
He would be so much fun.
And you'd get everything for free as well, so your night would be completely free and banging.
Yeah, it would. So, your next stop is Paris. You've arrived in Paris and you're looking forward to seeing the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, and a romantic meal along the River Seine.
That's pretty good.
You like that? Yeah. Which state of the USA was once a French colony?
Oh.
Okay, A, Alaska, B, California, C, Louisiana.
I was going to go by the names. I don't think it's California. So we've got Louisiana or Alaska. I don't think any of I'm going to go with Louisiana.
Correct.
Yes!
Doing very well. So, there isn't a queue for the Eiffel Tower. You get to go right up the lift where you can enjoy the views at the top. Plus, while you're up there, you meet a sexy French man called Claude, who sweeps you off your feet, joins you for dinner, and pays.
Oh my god.
Boom.
Am I with you at this point, or...?
No, you're travelling solo.
Okay, cool.
This is before we've met.
Oh, cool, okay.
So I'll let you off with Claude.
Hi, my name is Claude.
Are you for scuba? Right, next stop, Berlin. The Brandenburg Gate, the Berlin Wall, and the beer houses of Germany await you. You're looking forward to as many German sausages as you can fit in your mouth. You filthy whore. Okay, question. Overnight, Berlin was divided for almost 30 years by the Berlin Wall. If you woke up on the wrong side, you wouldn't see your friends and family for a very long time. What I want to know is, what year, so I should say what date, did the Berlin Wall come down? You've got 3 choices.
Oh, wait. I think I know what year it is. I think 1989, because that's when... that's when it went up, because that's when you were born.
Right, do you want to hear for the 3 options?
No, because I think I'm fucking clever. So, 1989, I think it was the beginning of the year. So I think it was like January 1st.
Was that your answer?
Yeah.
Do you want the 3 options?
Is that the answer?
No, it's wrong.
Okay. All right, go on then. Give
No,
me the
you've already
options.
answered it now. I'm not now going to give you 3 options.
All right, give me the fucking options.
Fucking hell. At that point, I'm like, are you going to want the 3 options
I'm
at any
getting too
point?
excited.
So, was it either A, November 9th, 1989,
Okay.
B, July 7th, 1982, C, January 9th, 1989?
Number 1, 1989.
Or November 9th?
Yeah.
You reckon that's what it is?
Yeah.
You're correct again. I thought you said it was towards the beginning of the year. So
Yeah,
I
but
thought
that's
you
just my brain playing tricks
I
on
thought you were
me.
going to go for January. You got it right again. Oh my
Well,
god.
you put it as my birthday, you idiot. It was January 9th. I'm obviously not going to think it's then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. Okay, correct. You're wowed by the history and sights of Berlin during the day, then down a few steins of beer in the evening and tuck into a big fat juicy sausage. Perfect day.
Do you know me at all? I don't even drink beer.
Well, it's a perfect day for most normal people.
Alright.
Okay, you're now in Prague. The Old Town Square, the astronomical clock and Charles Bridge are on your to-do list, but question is, what colours make up the Czech Republic flag? Is it A,
Shit.
green, blue and red?
Right.
Is it B, red, blue and white? Is it C, red, blue and yellow? So do you want them again?
I think it's red, blue and white, number 2.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Correct again.
Yes!
Oh my...
Mate, I'm so fucking clever.
Oh my god. Okay, correct. You love your day in Prague, you get some great pictures of the Gothic buildings, and you even find €100 on the floor.
Oh, wow.
Boom.
Right. I am loving this trip so far. Do you want me to get these wrong?
No, that's alright.
Okay, cool.
okay.
Because I remember the other day you said something about getting it wrong because it'll make it more interesting, but...
Well, probably would, but let's play the game properly.
All right.
Next stop, Rome.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
I'm genuinely getting excited. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to Rome.
Well, you are enjoying the trip so far, aren't you? So, this place may not have been built in a day, but you only have one day to see it all. And squeeze in the Colosseum, the Spanish Steps, and the Sistine Chapel. Question is, which two countries are surrounded on all sides by Italy? Okay.
Ooh.
A. Gibraltar and Andorra, Monaco and the Vatican and San Marino, or D. Luxembourg and Monaco.
Did you say bordered by Italy? Yeah.
Which two countries are surrounded on all sides by Italy?
What was D?
D was Luxembourg and Monaco. So I do them again. You've
I'm
either got
trying to think. Oh, I thought Luxembourg was up, but I'm going to go with that one anyway.
or D,
Yeah.
Luxembourg and Monaco. Incorrect.
What was it?
The answer was C, the Vatican and San Marino. Basically, those
Is
countries.
San Marino even a country? Is that an
Yeah.
actual country?
Yeah. Basically, those countries are plop in the middle of Italy, surrounded.
Weirdest thing you've ever said.
Fuck you. Anyway, you got it wrong, motherfucker. You have now been taken. Only Liam Neeson can help you now.
Okay.
So Rome didn't go.
Taken. What have I been?
You're now
actually
working.
taken?
You're now working in the underground sex trade.
Oh, okay. This has taken a dramatic turn.
Well, that's what happens when you get the questions wrong. So Rome didn't go very well.
And I'm not with you, so it's not like anyone's going to come find me.
It's not real, Amy.
This is stressful. Okay.
Right, well, you're now in Madrid. Okay, you somehow escaped. Right.
Oh.
So you're now in Madrid. The final stop of your Euro trip. You have lots planned, including a bullfight, a football match at the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu, and a flamenco lesson.
Oh, nice. I've done one of them before.
Question is, which of the following is not a co-official language in Spain?
Okay.
Basque, Catalan, Frisian, Galician. So which is not a proper Spanish language?
Can you repeat what C is?
Frisian, and then D is Galician.
Do you not mean Galician?
Galician, that's exactly what I mean.
C. It's definitely C.
Ah, well done. I didn't think you'd get that.
What?
Dan, I know you speak Spanish, but I didn't think you knew the other languages.
Well, yeah, the Basque Country. That's a massive... I did that Spanish for my A-levels.
I knew Basque and Catalan.
But Catalan, I learnt a bit of Catalan as well. And then Galician, Galicia.
Really?
Yeah.
Never heard of
And you even said it wrong.
Galician.
Galician. What?
So, correct. Madrid was the best end to your trip. You did everything you wanted to do, then ended the night with a few San Miguels and lots of tapas.
Sweet.
And that's it.
Oh, I
Actually-
really enjoyed that. I feel like I've been on a trip.
So you had a really good time apart from being taken. But it's a good thing you got the last question right, because if you got it wrong, I'll tell you now, on your flight home, actually no, I'm getting ahead of myself. What would have happened was you would have blown your budget, lost your flight ticket home. In desperation, you accept an offer to smuggle drugs back to the UK. You're stopped at the border, crossing into London, internally searched, and put in prison for 15 years.
Oh, man.
But that didn't happen.
There's some dark stuff going on in that head of yours.
But overall, that was a very successful Euro trip.
It was really successful, apart from the bit where I was taken. So let's go into this a little bit. Who took me, and how the hell did I get
Well,
away?
you've seen the film.
Taken.
That
yeah.
pretty much happened to you.
Right. Okay. I'm so glad that you're wishing this upon your fiancé.
It's just a game. But you only got one question wrong. Well done.
Oh, yeah, I'm quite proud of myself with that. I'm normally shit with games.
Very good.
So let's move on to the second sort of half of the show where we're talking about Slovakia. So we went to Slovakia a couple of weeks ago, just got back. But since then, we've both been in other countries as well, because you went to Berlin after and I went back to the city Budapest.
Yeah, these were for Sten and Hag. You said that before, Sten and Hag.
Yeah.
Stag and hen.
Yeah, stag and hen do's of a bride and groom who are getting married next week. But yeah, before that we went to Slovakia, which was a family holiday with your family. So it was us two, your mum, her husband Tony, and your sister Becky, who was on our Thailand episode.
Correct, yeah. We went for a long weekend skiing, because we like to ski when we can, but we've never been to Slovakia before. Thought we'd give it a go. Cheaper than France and
Apparently,
all that.
yeah, it was meant to be a lot cheaper, so we chose there.
Yeah, so we went to a place called Jasna, with a J, Jasna, to ski, which is really cool. And we'll talk about that. But then on our journey home, we managed to stop in Bratislava for a few hours to explore the capital.
Yeah, and to get from Jasna to Bratislava, we took one of those trains that looks like the Harry Potter trains, where they've got their own little cabins with the slidey doors.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
We had our own private cabin and like complimentary snacks and drinks, and it was like the most comfortable train journey ever. It's like a 3-hour journey. It cost us like €18, but it was so good. And like they've obviously got it so right over there. And our trains, you pay a lot, and you'd be lucky to get a seat.
For a half an hour journey here, cost me like 25 quid, and it's awful. You don't even get a seat. And no food or drink.
Yeah, you didn't get a complimentary drink.
It's disgusting.
Out
Don't
of
come
order.
to England. It's an awful country. So let's go on to game show facts for Slovakia.
Okay, let me ejaculate my factual goodness into the listeners' ears.
Oh, God.
Slovakia is a Central European country known for its dramatic natural landscape and many castles. The capital city is Bratislava, and this is located in the west, right near the Austrian and Hungarian border. This makes it the only capital city in the world to border 2 countries. The population of Slovakia is 5 million. The currency is the euro. The local language is Slovak. Hello again is ahoy, but thank you is yakwim. Locals will only pay for the trains in Slovakia if you're able-bodied and aged between 26 and 62. Everyone else, including widowers, ride for free. Slovak women marry the youngest, average 24 years old, within the European Union, along with Lithuanian and Polish women. Since 2007, Slovakia has been the world's largest producer of cars per capita. A Slovakian invented radio. Of course, history recalls Marconi as the inventor of radio. However, the truth is that while Marconi was able to finance the necessary patents, the actual person behind the invention was a priest born in Tajov in Slovakia called Josef Mergas. Another Slovakian invention is the parachute.
Wow, okay, so we learnt a lot there.
Yeah.
I'm devastated by this radio fact.
Yeah, we all think it's a British invention. Plus, we live in Chelmsford, which apparently is
the birthplace of radio.
Birthplace of radio. But yeah, apparently some other guy should have got the credit for it.
Oh, it's just Marconi had the money to
pursue
get it going.
That's right, yeah. But some interesting facts there about Slovakia. Again, yeah, these are countries that most people wouldn't really think of. But yeah, how crazy is that loads of people can ride the train for free in Slovakia, even if you're a widower?
Unbelievable. That would be so good for me right now because I'm under 26 and I wouldn't have to pay to get to work.
Under 26, like you said, all students ride for free as well. And yeah, anyone who's disabled rides for free.
That's amazing. But then does that not make it just ridiculously expensive for everyone else?
I don't know. Well, it wasn't for us.
It wasn't for us.
Yeah.
Was that because we were foreign? No, you get it cheaper because you're foreign.
I doubt it. Yeah. But even if you were foreign and disabled or under the age, you still pay. That's for locals.
Oh, right.
It's free for locals, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
And yeah, per population, Slovakia produces the most cars in the world.
I swear you said that about Czech Republic.
No, Skoda, which is a car company, is the biggest company in the country.
Oh, yeah,
but
okay.
Slovakia make lots and lots of cars.
Oh, okay. So I just want to go straight into this interview with your mum because I'm sure that's just what everybody's waiting on for.
True.
This was our first night in Jasna in Slovakia, and we just got to our hotel, which was called Druzba Ski and Wellness Hotel, which I would definitely recommend if you're going for a ski holiday or walking in the summer because they have this wellness centre and there's like jacuzzis outside. So when it's snowing, you're like outside in boiling water and it's amazing.
It had everything, yeah. Like all of the rooms had a couple of restaurants, a few bars, ski rental place where you get all your equipment from. So you get your skis and then you walk out the door and you ski onto the mountain.
Oh, amazing.
It was all under one roof. You didn't need to leave the hotel.
You really didn't, because the other ski holidays we've been on, we have to which is fine, I'm not complaining, but you have to get all your ski gear and travel loads and walk really far with it to get to the mountain. But yeah, just ski off the mountain. It was amazing.
It was great.
So good. So this was our first night in that hotel with your mum and her husband Tony. And so we had a little chat with them.
And we're joined by my mum, who often gets a mention on the podcast. Hello, Jill.
Hi.
And we're with her husband, Tony. Hello, Tony.
Hello, Nick.
Tony is the most northern English man you'll ever meet.
I don't know about that.
Tony, say something northern.
I'll go to the foot of our stairs.
Actually, I have no idea what you just said.
So, Mum, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Go on then.
So, I think it'd be really good to know from a parent's point of view what it's like when your child wants to go and travel around the world.
Well, I guess it depends how old they are when they want to go and do this.
But they're always your baby.
They are always my babies. I guess the main thing from a parent's point of view is all you want to know is that your child is safe wherever in the world they are. So it's really good to be able to have a little text message or a little Facebook message just to say that they're okay and there's a nice picture of them having a good time and that they've met loads of nice people and that everybody's being nice to them.
Good, okay. So what did you think because the first time I travelled was on my own when I went to America. What did you first think then?
You always worry about things because you always put yourself in that situation. And like, if I'd been 17 and wanted to travel to America, I probably would never have done it. But then that was back in the last century, so things were very, very different.
Yeah, and so then what about me and Amy going to India, somewhere very different to America?
To be perfectly honest, I didn't want you to go to India. I don't really know why I didn't want you to go to India. Just thought that it would be dangerous, that you'd probably get mugged, that you'd lose all of your money, that Amy would probably get kidnapped, and you would be powerless to do anything about it.
I suppose that's all possible.
I was going to say that's really interesting because obviously you didn't say that to us. So, I don't think you did.
Our wine has just arrived. So thank you. Yeah, I don't think you said that, did you?
No, I wouldn't have said it to you because it's a bit of a stupid mum thing to say. And you guys were on a trip, you were with other people, there was absolutely minimal danger to you, so of course you were going to go and have a fabulous time. And I guess the more you travel, the more I realise that you are fully grown up and responsible. And responsible, and that you've got each other and you look after each other when you're away. So from a parent's perspective, all you want to know is that your kids are having a great time, they are safe and happy.
Obviously you have 2 children, Becky and Nick, so you've got a girl and a boy, so obviously Nick's your favourite, obviously. But is it actually different? And be completely honest, is it different when you've got a son going travelling to a daughter going travelling? Because I would say it is pretty different.
Just for the listeners' sake, because my sister went to Thailand, didn't she? That was an organised kind of work placement. But what did you think about that?
I guess because I'd had the experience of you going travelling and you came back safely, that when Becky was going, it was just a natural thing to do. So although I did worry that, as she told you on the podcast, that she was going to get locked up in a Thai jail for being a drugs mule, and clearly that didn't happen. Again, because she was with other people and she was on a trip, and I got a message from her every few days and she would FaceTime me. I knew she was okay and I could see her and I could talk to her and I knew she was okay.
Yeah, okay, good. And what have you got planned, you and Tone, for your retirement as far as travel goes?
Well, Tone and I are going to buy a motorhome.
Very cool.
And we are going to spend a few months in Europe. We love Spain. We quite like France, although parts of France are a bit weird. So we're going to spend some time in France, in Spain, maybe in Portugal. Maybe travel down to Croatia and some of the places that we've not been before. But we just absolutely love the idea of being free spirits and just going where the fancy takes us.
Cool.
Love it.
Would you say anyone has inspired you to do this trip?
No.
Jack Kerouac.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
If I'm perfectly honest, Nick and Amy have inspired me because they've kind of opened my eyes to thinking, if you want to do something, just go and do it. Don't worry about saving up and how much money you've got in the bank and what's going to happen when you're old and retired. But seriously, if you want to go and do something, just go out there and do it. Get it done.
Ah, so Jill's turning into a bit of a hippie.
Yeah, wise words, I thought there, from my mum. Our number one fan. She always listens to the show, doesn't she?
Even though we do put a few jokes in there that she probably doesn't want to hear.
Naughty jokes. But that was really good, wasn't it? I really wanted to get my mum's point of view about travel on the show. And
Yeah.
Nice to hear from a parent's point of view, I thought.
Yeah, because it is really important about what your parents think, because obviously anyone that goes travelling has that there, but we don't really talk about it, like, oh, my parents don't really want me to go or whatever.
Yeah, it's a big part of travelling.
It definitely is. And that's probably the first thing that makes you homesick, just not seeing your other friends and family.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that I joked that you were her favourite and she just awkwardly laughed.
Yeah,
She didn't really
things got a bit weird.
give an answer.
Well, she can't give an answer, can she?
No.
Even if she might be thinking it, she can't give an answer.
While we're on the subject of your mum, I just want to say that we kind of have this running joke with me and your family that every time we're on holiday, I always come up with these depressing stories and come up with weird stuff.
Yeah, like weird, inappropriate things to talk about.
So one thing happened like pretty much when we first met your mum at Stansted Airport, where we were going to go on this holiday together, and your mum must have thought, oh God, here we go again.
Yeah, go on, tell the listeners what you thought was a good thing to talk about.
So your mum and her husband Tony were standing there, and you and your sister left us because you were checking like your bags in, and we just had small bags. And we was talking about the Olympics at some point and how, you know, obviously this year it's in Brazil. And I started talking about Brazilian prostitutes to your mum. And all I was saying was that it's amazing how the whole country changes for when you've got the Olympics. So apparently I watched this programme where they were saying that all the prostitutes are even learning English so they can get foreign customers, because most people speak English.
You're probably right for the Olympics, but that was for the World Cup when that was in Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
Or the sex, we saw some documentary where, we learnt that, all the sex workers were learning English for all the tourists that are coming in.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you mention that to my mum?
I don't know. My brain does weird things. I don't know why. Also related to airports, on our way home, I had a freak out moment on the plane, didn't I? So we are preparing to land on the plane, and we are not far from the ground whatsoever, like probably stuck in like 4 or 5 houses upwards. That's how high we were. And the plane started going up.
Yep, he suddenly quickly, put the engines on overdrive and we started to go back up.
And then like the pilot didn't tell us anything for, it was probably like 10 minutes. We went all the way back up above the clouds, circling round and thinking, what's going on? You know, when you're on a plane and something like that happens and the pilot's not telling you what's going on, you kind of have a freak out moment. Anyway, do you want to explain why we went back up?
Yeah, so as we started to go down again, the captain said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry about the slight delay. We have to land a bit later because the plane in front of us, when landed, hit a rabbit. I'm like, right, okay. So the plane in front, as it was landing, ran over a rabbit, which obviously splattered all over the runway.
Sorry to the vegetarians out there.
Well, yeah, what can we do? But that was enough reason to not land, because there was a rabbit splattered on the floor. But then,
so they had to like clean it up off the runway.
Yeah, once they cleaned it off, then we were good to go.
And then my heart started beating again and I could breathe. I was proper worried.
You're a nervous flyer, aren't you?
I am. I never used to be, but it's getting worse and worse as we go. So in a little bit, we've got our interview with Daniela, not Danielle from earlier. That was a guy. This is a girl or a woman. And she showed us around Bratislava on a free walking tour. So we were going to hear from her in a bit. But let's talk about skiing. Let's talk about Slovakia. What did we think of the country in general?
Yeah, I really like Slovakia. The mountains were beautiful. I think doing my research for the show as well, you look at the two countries, Czech Republic and Slovakia. Slovakia's definitely got the nature side of it. It's got some, amazing mountains, etc. That was really good. There was loads of snow there.
Yeah, we were really lucky because a couple of weeks before, there was no snow and there was a lot of people sort of cancelling trips and stuff all around, like even in the Alps. There wasn't really much snow at all.
Yeah, but it's really good and definitely cheaper than France, Switzerland, places like that. It wasn't as cheap as I thought it was going to be, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But it was still cheaper than going to the normal Alps in Europe. But a really good alternative. Like, it was cheap to fly to Bratislava. We then, on the way to Jasna, we got like a minibus to take us, which wasn't that expensive. Good food, good drink. The slopes were good. We had a really fun time skiing. That was your 5th time skiing, and you actually progressed really well on that trip. And you can announce it to the listeners what you managed to achieve.
Well, I've been trying to tick off a bucket list item ever since we went skiing, because obviously when I first went I didn't know how hard it was, but it was to ski a black run. So if anyone hasn't been skiing before, there's different types of runs, and black is probably like the hardest one. You can get harder than that with like double black diamond, but that's not very common. And I just really, really wanted to complete a black run, which I did on this holiday, and I did it twice.
Yeah,
as well.
as soon as we finished it, you were like, let's do that again.
Yeah, it was so much fun, and all I can put it down to is just positive thinking. I know that sounds so hippie-ish, but I went out there thinking like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to be really confident, I know I can ski, I just need to stop my head getting all fuzzy, like, because I'm scared of heights as well. So when I'm on the side of the mountain, that's what I think about rather than actually skiing. And when you focus yourself, you can do it.
Definitely. Yeah, in the past, your weakness has been your head. Yeah. Like, you can physically ski, you just sometimes freak yourself out, don't you? But no, that trip it must have been your best skiing so far.
Yeah, and I just want to say, when you're on the mountain as well, for any of you proper good like skiers, you'd think going to somewhere like that you'd be like, oh, the mountains and the runs are going to be really shit, but they're not. When you're actually on the run, there's no difference to being in the Alps and being here. Like, it's still just as beautiful, you can see all the mountains, and I don't think there's any difference.
As long as you get the snow, it's like, well, who cares really? And there was snow, there's plenty of it. The runs were good, the ski lifts were good, like everything about it was great.
And all of the little cafes on the mountain as well, like their hot chocolate was the best hot chocolate I've had.
Yeah, really good. And yeah,
really good.
Skiers or snowboarders out there, first of all, you'll know how much fun it is. Like, to go on a holiday like that, it's just you're having fun all day, then you have fun all night because there's normally a lot going on in the evening.
Yeah, at Prague ski.
And then once you've been skiing for a few hours, stop for a beer or a hot chocolate or whatever, and it's the life.
And they also do night skiing as well, so they put all the floodlights on. We didn't actually do this because we were too busy in the wellness centre and just relaxing and stuff like that, getting massages. But you can night ski if that's your thing.
Yeah, definitely. Normally after a full day skiing, once you've then had a shower and then you're more relaxed, all you want to do is have some food and go for a drink. But if you want to get back out there, you can do it.
Let's talk about food, because this is a massive part of travelling and we haven't really done it so far. So Czech Republic and Slovakia have very similar foods, obviously being so close to each other. There's a lot of goulash, a lot of soups, stews, meat.
Yeah, sausages, cabbage. It's very similar to Hungarian and Austrian. Obviously, you mentioned goulash.
Yeah.
Yeah, them 4 countries. I remember the restaurant in our hotel, the sign up did say, we have Slovakian, we have Czech Republic, we have Austrian, and we have Hungarian food. Like, it's all very similar. Very kind of meat and potato-y.
Yeah, very heavy based in that, yeah.
So you're fine if you need, to load up on your carbs to go skiing. But we did find there wasn't much veg, but all the food we had was lovely.
So good, really good tasting. And but we find that with a lot of places there isn't enough veg. Like, even in England it's like that.
That's true, if you go out to eat somewhere.
Yeah.
But goulash is just the best for lunch or after a day skiing. Goulash is just what you need.
Definitely. So let's go to Daniela now. So we actually joined the free walking tour halfway through because our train got delayed, and so we missed the first, 15 minutes.
I think we missed quite a bit more than that, maybe like 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh, okay.
So we just saw a big group walking around the main square, so we assumed it must be the walking tour. We said, "Oh, please, can we join?" She was like, "Yeah, no problem."
Yeah, and the first thing we actually did with them was jump into a photo with everyone on the tour. So there's probably 25, 30 people.
Yeah, big crowd.
On the tour. And she was like, we're just about to take a photo. You can come in if you want or not. And your family sort of stood away and we're like, yeah, let's go for it.
We literally just joined this group of strangers. But yeah, we'll get in on the group picture.
So we'll put that on our Instagram as well. That's at What The Pho Podcast on Instagram or at Pho Podcast on Twitter. And check us gate crashing that photo, because Danielle actually sent us the photo after, which was very kind of her.
Yeah.
So let's hear this now. She's telling us about Bratislava.
So are you from Bratislava?
Yeah, I'm from Bratislava. I was born here, I grew up here, live here all my life.
Okay, cool. What would you say is the best thing to do, or the best thing about Bratislava?
The best thing about Bratislava? Oh, I really like the old town. It's a small city, it's a charming city. So the old town, it's pedestrian zone, so it's very easy to walk down the streets and to enjoy the atmosphere of the city. It's not a big overcrowded city.
Yeah.
It's much smaller than Vienna or Budapest or Prague, like the cities around. So Bratislava is different. It's much smaller, but it's really nice. I really like the atmosphere of the city.
Cool.
This might sound like a very strange question, but what's the worst thing about Bratislava?
Worst thing? Well, the last couple of years it's getting better in Bratislava also with the English language. I mean, the problem is, from my point of view, that old generation don't speak English, but in Bratislava it's getting better.
Do lots of people speak Russian?
Well, the older generation, they had to learn Russian at school because it was during communist times. But now the young generation, they should speak English. I would say they don't speak Russian anymore. No.
Yeah.
We don't learn it at school anymore.
Okay.
What is the name of the company you work for? It's Free Tours.
Yes, it's Be Free Tours.
Yeah, and are all of your tours in English, or do they do other languages as well?
Oh, well, now we run the tours in English, but we plan to start Spanish tours.
Oh, wow. Can you speak Spanish?
Not myself, no. We will need to find some Spanish-speaking tour guides.
Yeah.
But probably in next couple of months we'll start Spanish tours as well. But now all the tours are in English.
Cool. So you do walking tours which focus on like history and culture. I think you also do pub crawls as well.
Oh yeah, we do pub crawls as a kind of a nightlife tour. In summer there's nearly every night there's a pub crawl. Now it's the winter season, so only Tuesdays and Saturdays we have pub crawls.
Is there good nightlife in Bratislava?
Yeah, I would say there's a couple of good nightclubs, and it's a really good value because all the entrance to all these clubs is included. So
yeah.
In the tour you were talking about the two films that dropped, what was it, the hostel rate or backpacker rate by 75%.
Yeah.
So what do you think either the government or people have done to bring backpackers back to Bratislava or Slovakia?
Mm-hmm. I'm afraid I can't really answer this question. It's not really no, the government probably do some promotion for the country on different international festivals and fairs, and but I don't really know.
No. What is there like for young people to do here?
For young people, well,
drinking.
Pub crawls,
yeah, of course. Like beer is very cheap alcohol here. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, definitely different. Or paintball, or this kind of activities, rafting, biking, lots of sports actually, running tour as well. So
very cool.
Yeah.
And do you think Slovakia is a good place to live and to grow up?
I like it here. Yeah, it's fine and it's getting better. It's definitely changed a lot within the last 15-20 years because it was completely different during communist times.
Yeah.
But it's getting better. I would say it's getting better and it changed a lot. And for me, I think it's nice. Yeah, it's kind of comfortable. Bratislava is very close to Vienna, so also the influence from Vienna. And it's very easy for us to travel to Vienna. Many people commute daily. They're employed in Vienna, for example.
They commute daily. Wow, that's impressive.
It's that close, yeah.
It's very close.
And final question from me, would you say that people in Slovakia and people in the Czech Republic have a good relationship? Are you guys still friends?
Oh yeah, we have a very good, very nice and friendly relationship. Even we split up. We split up in 1993, but we managed to stay friends. It's not like in former Yugoslavian countries. I know in many countries it end up in tragedy, but not in this case, not between Czechs and Slovaks. We managed to stay friends.
Fantastic.
So we went to Czech Republic in November, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were staying with a Czech guy, and he said that there are kind of light and friendly jokes about Slovakians. Is it the same the other way back?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's the same thing in the UK, England, Scotland, and Wales and Ireland.
We joke about each other.
It's the same thing. But he did say that Slovakians and Czech Republicans, they're like brothers. Yeah,
we feel like we're brothers.
Yeah.
And also the languages are very similar, so we can understand each other without any difficulties.
Yeah. So that's another point to them being friends.
Yeah. So it seems like unanimous that they're all good. Everything's good.
And that's why the episode is called Checkmates.
Checkmates. Ha ha ha.
What the fuck? So that was Daniela, and when she was talking about that whole bit of, or when I asked the question about the backpacker rate going down by 75%, I'm going to play you a quick little clip of her tour when we were there, talking about the film Eurotrip and what it did to the country.
The economy is getting better and tourism is getting better as well. What helped our tourism was that we figured out on Lonely Planet list of top 10 destinations to visit. It was in 2013 where we figured on this list of Lonely Planet. It really helped to get a positive recognition for our tourism, because before, all backpackers who were coming here to Slovakia, they knew about our country from 2 movies only. And you know, these 2 movies, they don't portray our country in a positive light. You probably know that I'm talking about Eurotrip and Hostel movie.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, Eurotrip, it portray our country as an Eastern European hellhole. We don't like it because we feel more like Central Europe, but I know all the rest of the world consider us an Eastern Europe, and we feel more like Central Europe. And Hostel movie is even worse for us because it's a horror movie where all backpackers who come here to Bratislava, they end being chopped into little pieces. And, you know, the movie wasn't filmed here, and the director of Hostel movie have never been here. But after this movie came out, number of backpackers dropped by 75%.
Wow.
So that's incredible how great impact it could have even it wasn't filmed here. And as I said, the director of Hostel movie, Eli Roth, had never been to Bratislava, had never been to Slovakia. So after this movie came out, the Bratislava city government, they tried to do something to get a positive recognition for our city, for our country, and they invited Eli Roth, director of Hostel movie, to come and see that this is a nice place. But he said that after being so harsh on our city in his movie, he's afraid that if he comes, he would really be chopped into little pieces. So it didn't work out.
That's mental, isn't it? That films can encourage people so much.
Yeah, the influence films have. Can you believe 75% was how much backpacking dropped in Bratislava just because of those films? I mean, I showed you the clip on Eurotrip because I think you have seen it as well, but I've seen the film years ago.
Yeah.
And it is quite a funny scene when they're in Bratislava because they think they're going to Berlin, I think, and they turn up and they're in this horrible place, and this local says, welcome to Bratislava, it's all grey and miserable. And he says, I'm glad you came in the summer. In the winter, it can be very depressing. Funny film, but yeah, it was both those films, Hostel and Eurotrip, were really harsh on Bratislava, and it didn't do very well after that.
So here's a question. Do you think you could watch any film and it would really influence your thoughts on the country so much that you wouldn't want to go?
Not that I wouldn't want to go, but it definitely does have an impact on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Same question.
Yeah, I don't know, because I think a lot of things can influence it. Like, for example, when I was younger, I was like, I would never really want to go to Russia. Like, there's not any part of me that feels like there's nothing bringing me there.
Yeah.
But that's just because in media and on the internet and films, it is, again, portrayed as this really dark, dreary place. But then they had the Winter Olympics there a few years ago, and I really wanted to go. And it looked really nice. And I just think, just try it. You literally can only make that decision once you've been.
Yeah, stereotypes that exist are often quite harsh, and they're normally thanks to the people running the country. So like your average day citizen, we've all actually got a lot in common with each other all around the world. Like when you go to these places and meet people, you realise we're all the same.
Yeah.
Do you remember you showed me a really good video of a guy, we'll have to get his name, but he hitchhiked and couch surfed around the world. So he travelled for almost free. And as he was hitchhiking, he'd say, I need to go to this country. I think he's from Croatia.
Yeah, I just remembered what video you mean now.
He said, I need to go to Bosnia. And then a Croatian will say, you got to be careful of Bosnians, Serbians. He said, watch out for them, they're not nice people, blah, blah. And then when he gets there, they're lovely. And then he goes to the next country, and the Serbians say, Serbians, we're fine. Croatians, they're fine. But you don't want to go there. They're really hot. And the same thing happened in every country. And every time he got to a new country, he realised everyone's really nice.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody just thinks next door neighbours are but we always say when the only time that the whole world is going to come together as one is if we get invaded by aliens.
Correct.
Someone from an alien place, because we're all just against each other.
Yeah, most of it is just political or religious, but I don't want to get too much into that.
Yeah, neither do I. So yeah, that was Daniela.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
She was a very good tour guide, very knowledgeable, good of her to speak to us, so thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. And so let's finish this up and wrap it up as I was going to say let's do a 10 out of 10 for both countries on any country you've been to. What would you give Czech Republic out of 10 and to recommend to someone? Would you recommend them to go?
Well, to recommend, I'd give them both full marks. To recommend,
yeah,
I think anyone should go, and it's quite. People don't really understand countries in the centre of Europe. They're not Eastern European countries, they're actually very developed. Like, they've got a lot going for themselves. They're really nice places. Plus, you kind of have the benefits of a bit of Eastern Europe because they're cheap to go to for us, for Westerners. But there's a lot to do there, and they're really nice places. So, like, hey, Hungary, Austria, Slovakia, Czech Republic, great places to go. I really love Central Europe, and Poland as well. I'll include that in there.
Actually, okay, I'm going to change my question. I was going to say out of everywhere you've been in the world, but it's really difficult to compare like Europe to Asia. So every European country you've been to, how would you rank Czech Republic out of 10?
Yep, Czech Republic is really good. I would say 8 out of 10.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow, okay, good.
And then let's go to Slovakia. Same question. Depending on everywhere you've been in Europe, what would you give it out of 10?
7.
I was going to go with 7 actually.
Were
as
you?
well. Yeah.
Oh, that's higher than I thought you were going to give it.
So because I preferred Prague, but then also I think this is a bit unfair because we only got to spend at most half a day in Bratislava. So I find it is quite difficult for us. So I don't want people to take that judgment like as gospel.
Yeah.
But it's still amazing country, and I would definitely recommend everyone to go. And the food there, again, is so good.
But yeah, as a tourist experience, Czech Republic and Prague was better, but I really like Slovakia. I'm interested in these countries that people don't really go to.
Yeah, I really want to go to Romania next.
Yeah, if we trace back your family tree, is that where you're from?
I'm part Romanian, apparently.
Yeah, well, we're all part something.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to Romania. Now, that is Eastern Europe.
Yes. I think we should try there next.
Yeah.
Also, let's just chat a little bit. I'm going to give you like 30 seconds to describe your time in Berlin because you've just got back from there for the stag do. I've just got back from Budapest. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds and
go. Berlin was fantastic. I was a bit worried that it was just going to be one of these really expensive Western Europe cities, but it wasn't actually. Very affordable. A lot to do, so much history. Like I did a little walking tour on my own. With like, I left the rest of my group to sleep in bed. I learned so much. Nice people, nice food, nice beer. Germans are great. Germany is a fun country to go to.
Oh, okay. You don't even need 30 seconds. Okay, cool.
Done.
So I'm going to do 30 seconds on Budapest.
Go.
So amazing people. So I lost my phone in a club and I got it sent all the way back from Budapest to England, and I now have my phone back, which is incredible anyway. But yeah, we spoke about Budapest in our other episode. Really nice. We did a cruise along the river for a dinner cruise. We also did one of those crystal maze type things where you're put in a room, you've got to do loads of puzzles to get out, and it was one of the the funnest thing I've ever done. It was really, really good. And yeah, the clubs out there with the ruin bars, amazing. I was out till like 5 every morning, and I was the first one up, even though I had a hangover.
Good girl.
So I was proud of that.
Very proud. Yeah, Budapest is great. That's probably one I would give 10 out of 10 for a European break, for a European city.
Yeah.
I think so far it's my favourite.
Which one? Budapest.
Budapest. Because
really?
when we went in the last summer, and I'm going back in a couple of months for another stag do.
Yeah.
We're at that age where there's lots of babies, lots of weddings, which is great. I'm really looking forward to going back there.
Yeah,
I'd
it
say
is fun.
10 out of 10 Budapest.
I think I'd give it a 10 out of 10 as well, actually. Yeah, really good. So our next episode on What the Pho Travel Podcast is going to be with a woman called Amy and her friend, remind me of her name? Steph. And Amy writes a blog called Hot Wheels, and the way that she's completely different to every travel blog that you read is that she is actually in a wheelchair. So we're going to be talking to her about her time in Vietnam, because that was her favourite country, and just how she got about, and how, if maybe you're disabled, does that stop you from travelling, and all of those sort of questions that come around that. So I'm excited and very intrigued to talk to her.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be a really interesting show. So yeah, really look forward to that. Make sure you guys look out for that one.
Yeah, and I believe her blog's called Hot Wheels. So if you want to check it out before next month, then go ahead. So thank you for downloading. Thank you for listening. We love you, our Mother Pho'ers. That's your nickname from us, by the way.
You guys rock.
So we will see you next month.
Yo! Wah! Don't forget, you guys can get in touch with the show. You can send us an email. Our address is whatthepho@gmail.com. Pho is spelled PHO. On Twitter, we are @Pho Podcast. Also, check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well. With all this social media, this podcast doesn't just come in your ears, we also come in your eyes. Lads.